Please welcome to the stage Jeff Grabill.
Thank you. I'm not sure that entity is working very well. We heard this morning about how bumpy and awful and hand-to-hand combat-y startups are, and unfortunately that is true. But it's also a different kind of rewarding work. So I think it's still good morning. Good morning. My name is Jeff Grabill. I'm newly chair of a department called Writing, Rhetoric, and American Cultures. You were privileged to hear from two of my colleagues this morning with the Literacy Core Michigan project. So I have the good fortune of hanging out with people like that all the time. Not other people who are awful and whiny and do all sorts of crazy things for faculty members, but just remarkable people like these two. I've also been, for a number of years, co-director of a research center called Writing in Digital Environments. And it's that research center and the work that we've done on understanding how people use digital technologies to write and to learn to write that produced a software service called ELI. So ELI is a software service that supports peer learning. And in particular, we've localized it in its first instance to support peer learning in writing. And really, there are two value propositions for users of ELI, for teachers, and for both teachers and students. One is an efficiency value, and that is what ELI allows teachers and students to do is to achieve pretty significant efficiencies in their workflow and in the teaching and learning that they do in the classroom. So the way we like to say it is that I can do in 50 minutes with ELI what it used to take me 2 to 3 class periods to do using conventional means, both digital and analog. And the second value proposition for both teachers and students who use ELI is data. So one of the things that we've worked very hard on and one of the things we're very proud of is the ability to aggregate student activity using ELI and provide teachers and students with data displays that for writing teachers in particular we simply have never had before in writing instruction. They're very powerful data displays, and in fact they've changed the way I teach writing. And I didn't think that was possible because I'm a very old dog, and ELI has helped teach me some new tricks. So let me tell you real quickly the story of where ELI comes from, because I think it's actually important. We invented ELI by accident, by mistake. We weren't trying to invent ELI. What we were doing was inventing a new way to teach business communication at the College of Business. And there was no appetite for the traditional 3-week, 15-week, 3-credit-hour business writing course. We were trying to do something that was very compressed in time and space. But more importantly, we were trying to do something that was tied very tightly to what we understand to be evidence-based practices in writing instruction. And we were in particular focused on the review and revision cycle with regard to writing. And that is, all learning and improvement in writing happens in revision, which is only a slight overstatement as to what the research actually says. In order to get better at writing, in other words, students had to do high-quality revisions. And in order to have high-quality revisions, they had to get high-quality reviews from other people. Well, this is easy to say and exceptionally difficult to do. And once we were trying to do this in a compressed time period, we realized, well, we were failing, right? We couldn't do it in a compressed time period with existing technologies. So on the fly, in the middle of a colossal failure, we invented technology. And this is one of the advantages of running a digital writing research center, right? I have people laying around who can do things like invent technologies. Thank goodness they saved me yet again. So once we realized that ELI was kind of a good thing, the question became what to do with it. We could have written an article read by 7 people, one of them my mother. Or we could have done something which was more consistent with our values. And so one of the things that we dared to do at that research center, and then hopefully we start daring to do in my department, is to change the world. And so we were very much interested in changing the way writing is taught in the US first, and then maybe globally. We are immodest about our goals. We don't care to say them out loud. We dare to do things like this. And so the question was, what do we do with an educational technology that we're pretty convinced makes a difference in the lives of teachers and the lives of students? So we could give it away as an open educational resource, or we could, which we tried to do, we thought about it very hard, or we could do things like start a company to try and ensure its sustainability and its scale. And that, in fact, is what we did, which turns out to be the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. So right now, ELI is a service that is owned by a company called Drawbridge, an educational technology spun out of the university, very unique spin out from MSU. MSU hasn't done anything quite like this before. Our company is owned 25% by the university and by other people. So It's very clever, very creative, very hard. We're making some inroads in terms of getting ELI into the hands of teachers around the state of Michigan and around the world, so we're very excited about that. I wanted to close by saying how important MSU Global has been to our development efforts. There is no group on campus, I'm confident in saying there's no group on campus that has been more instrumental in helping us develop ELI and develop Drawbridge than MSU Global. It's the group of people who are most inventive and creative with regard to how to do these things. They understand the educational marketplace. They understand who the people are, who are the most innovative people in the educational marketplace. They've connected us. They've been selfless in connecting us to people. It's been a great relationship for me personally, and they've connected us with people with whom we've begun to develop, I think, some pretty significant relationships around the world. And so I'm going to also shamelessly thank MSU Global, not just for having me here for today, but for being such good colleagues. Thanks.